There are rumbles from the shores of Puerto Rico as Shareable Matias was successful in his ring return Saturday, March 1st. And he won a title eliminator against Valenzuela. Let's talk about this eliminator and what it means in his future as he challenges for another title. Shareable Matias returned to the ring on Saturday, March 1st, and he took on an opponent in Valenzuela to try to further his trek back into contention for a title. And being that he's a former world champion himself, he's seeking the opportunity to show the world that he hasn't lost a step at 33, or 32 I should say, not quite 33, and that the division of super lightweight needs to be on notice. His most recent fight prior to Saturday was a November 2024 battle against Roberto Ramirez, which he scored a knockout in that fight as well. But it was his fight in June of 2024 against Liam Pero in front of his home people of Puerto Rico that saw Pero win a unanimous decision against Shareable, who seemed listless and couldn't stop the volley of punches and attack from Pero, who many people thought that he would just walk over. Pero has since lost his title to Richardson Hitchens, and this fight for Saturday was like an eliminator, bracing Shareable for an opportunity at Hitchens himself. That's where things get interesting, because Hitchens, when he defeated Pero, was talking brash and tough about facing the best of the division. But now that the boogeyman, or he who was once known as the boogeyman in the division, Matias, is ready to go, we haven't heard much from Hitchens yet. If that fight is going to be made, it's going to be very interesting to see if Richardson will be able to stave off the aggression that Shareable shows when he fights. You see, when he took on Valenzuela came in with a record of 30-3 with one draw, 17 KOs. Fighting out of Mexico, he's 30 years old, 5'10", with a 73-inch reach. But he was in way over his head as Matias systematically took him apart during their fight. One thing I noted was that Shareable is still a heavy-handed fighter, and he knows that he can hurt opponents with his punches. So sometimes he doesn't go all out. Sometimes he shows a little bit of reserve, sometimes a little bit too much patience. But as he did with Valenzuela, he just pummeled him until he beat all of the fight out of him. Most of the consensus was the fight could have been stopped sooner, as it ended up being an 8th round TKO, but Shareable wasn't in a hurry. That's something very sadistic about a man who knows that he can finish a guy off, but seemingly takes pleasure into pounding someone into submission. Matias is the type of guy, he's not a nice man in the ring. And fighters who face him need to understand that when they get in there with him, they've got to go to work. Just like Liam Pero did. He kept him occupied and busy defending instead of looking to trade or exchange. Now, one of the things that I noticed also was that Shareable, heavy-handed as he is, fighting in his home country of Puerto Rico on a regular basis, I don't believe Hitchens will fight him in Puerto Rico if they do face one another. But then again, there is a good chance because the promoter is looking to make the most out of it. And that if Puerto Rico is where the fight is going to be held, so be it. But I think that Dimitri Salita, who's the promoter for Shareable Matias, is all set to do what he has to do to put this fight together. And it just requires that Richardson Hitchens brings himself together to make a deal with these guys. After Saturday's victory, Matias has upped his record now, and he's currently 22-2 with 22 KOs. He's looking strong, but again, being 32 years of age, Father Time has the victory over everyone. If he's going to face the younger Hitchens, he's going to have to come in with a different type game plan than the one that he had when he faced Liam Perro back in June of 2024. And I believe that he could pressure Hitchens, but will he be able to stop Hitchens from moving, boxing, showing the angles that he's able to do on a consistent basis for 12 rounds? All in all, it's good to see Shareable Matias back, but it's also time for him to step up the opponents and the competition. The level of oppositions that he has faced in his last two fights doesn't equate to fighters like Perro or Hitchens. And that's the thing that we have to keep in mind when we're talking about him getting another title shot. But what do you think? This is Stormy B-Man. Shout out to the mighty LDBC and Liberated Perspective, a third eye view of the world. For more content such as this, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. Leave comments. Let's discuss. Do you think Shareable is ready to challenge for a world title again? Or does he need a little bit more work and up the opponents? Leave comments and let's discuss. Peace to everyone out there, and everyone please remain safe.